Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This video is going to be part of my art journal process videos, which I typically put to music on a faster speed. On average, it takes me 1.5 to 2 hours to complete an art journal layout. So now you understand why I tend to put that to music and fast speed it, because I don't want to torture you with that entire process. But today's process is going to be way shorter for a lot of reasons. But before I share those reasons with you, let me first tell you what inspired this art page. This art page is inspired by a monthly prompt that is put out by Rosa, who is Sun and Moon Arts here on YouTube. Every month she puts out a prompt for a collage page. For the month of August, I do believe, if I recall correctly, the prompt is Smoke and Mirrors. I was super excited when I heard her announce that prompt, because I instantly had a vision come to mind using a background that I already created. You may not know this about me because I don't think I've mentioned this before, but my favorite part, or my most favorite part, I should say, when creating an art journal page or collage or anything in my art books, is creating the background. That is where I find the most joy. That is where I get to express my creative self. I can literally make an entire book of background pages and be happy with that. So that's usually at the forefront of my mind when I create my pages. I create a bunch of backgrounds, and then I will go back and add to those backgrounds, creating little scenes. When I heard Rosa announce Smoke and Mirrors as her prompt for August, I immediately thought of a background I already created. And I created this background in one of my bigger journals. It is a Dylusions journal, of course it is. And it is this gorgeous mossy gold green background that I created using the Dina Wakley gloss sprays. Now, I did share this process, and I will link that video right here so that you can go see how I created this page. But since I've created this page, it's been blank, just the background, which I'm super happy with. But I am now ready to use this background, and I am ready because of Rosa, Sun and Moon Arts. So let me share with you what I have in mind to complete at least one of these pages. It's a double page spread, which is massive when you consider the size of this journal. So I am going to use one of the pages and complete that today using Rosa's prompt. I will also share with you the other supplies that I want to use to complete this page. It is Halloween inspired. Yes, Halloween is right around the corner. It is on my brain. It's on my mind. I'm really feeling the itch to do some Halloween inspired layouts in my various journals. So why not start with this one? So for this particular journal, I am going to use some die cuts by Martha Stewart. And these are some heavyweight chipboard die cuts. I purchased these a long time ago from a clearance somewhere. I don't even remember where. But I'm going to use this one. And you can see how thick it is. Okay? Normally, I don't have a problem with chipboard being thick. The thicker the better, in my mind. But because I'm going to be using it in my book, I did peel away some of the layers, which is super easy to do, so that I was left with a much thinner version of this same piece. And here is that thinner version. So I'm going to be using that. I'm also going to be using some chipboard quotes. I think they're called chip quotes. And these are the Halloween themed chip quotes by Tim Holtz. I've had these in my stash for a good long while. And what it is are quotes or sentiments on chipboard, super thick. And in this case, these are Halloween inspired. So what I intend on doing, similar to the way I thinned out this chipboard so that it doesn't create too much bulk in my book, I pulled out a bunch of chip quotes that I also will be peeling away and thinning out so that it doesn't create too much bulk in my book. So when I get to that step, I will share that with you. But what I am thinking I want to do is take this lovely chipboard piece, this gorgeous background, and create a scene. So when I heard Rosa announce Smoke and Mirrors, I immediately thought of Halloween. I immediately thought of a witch over her cauldron, mixing up a little spell, being wicked, being mischievous, all the wonderful things that witches tend to be. So I am super excited that I now get to put this vision to page using this image right here and using a bunch of quote chips. I think I want to use mischievous, a wondrous witch. She cast a wicked spell, and dreadfully wicked. I think this creates a nice balance of the page. Also takes full advantage of this beautiful background that was created using those Dina Wakley acrylic sprays. So let me, as a little bit of prep, let me peel away some of the girth on these chipboard pieces. So just like that, super easy to peel away some of this chipboard so that I don't have so much. So I hope everyone is doing well. If you are not familiar with Rosa, you should definitely go check her out. She is a super talented mixed media artist, awesome soul. She puts out videos on the regular, including tutorials. So I would definitely encourage you to go check her out if you haven't done so already. And I will link her down below. So look how easy it is to peel the sentiment off from the rest of the chipboard. And I don't mind that it gets, you see those folds and wrinkles. That doesn't bother me because it just, it looks rustic, grungy. You could also just be a little more careful about peeling it away and you won't have that happening. But like I said, because it doesn't bother me, I'm not too worried about it. Also need a good adhesive. I'm a big fan of using or investing in good adhesives. Nothing worse than putting in your time and effort in creating a beautiful page only to have it ruined because you didn't use the proper adhesive. My favorite adhesive is this Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. I have this version, which is super, super strong. You literally get seconds to adjust whatever you're adhering to your page before it's just permanently stuck. There's also a blue bottle version, which I think allows for a little more time to move whatever it is you're trying to adhere. And I also think the blue bottle version is designed so it doesn't create ripples on paper. With this, because it is wet glue, if you use this on paper, you tend to see some rippling. With the blue version, the blue bottle version, you don't see as much. So I'm okay with either one, but because I've been using this one, you know, I'm kind of like a creature of habit. This is what I buy, this is what I use. So this is the general layout I'm thinking for my page. little bit of prep work that needs to be done to really make this background 100% what I want it to be. We're going to add some more elements to it to make it a little more interesting. We're going to start by using a background text stamp, and this one is just a random one that I pulled from my collection. I think it is by Prima. It is by Prima. I might have gotten this in like one of my Prima mystery boxes that I used to buy, but regardless, it doesn't matter the print. It's just you're not really going to read it. It's just for some interest in the background. I'm going to use my archival ink. I think it's going to work perfectly on this acrylic spray. The Dina Wakley acrylic spray is just amazing. If you don't have it, if you haven't used it, if you've thought about it, definitely check out my video where I show the process of creating this background. I think you'll get a kick out of watching me do it. Very messy and a lot of fun. So I am just randomly on the page, no real rhyme or reason, pressing from pad to page. I'm okay with not getting a perfect stamp. I am okay with overlay. Is overlay the proper word? I'm not sure. I'm okay with overlapping. That's the word I'm looking for. Of the text. Not bothered by that at all. What I don't want to see are the harsh lines of the stamp. I want it to look somewhat organic. So that's why I'm intentionally overlapping the stamp so that you don't have these harsh lines. Your eye tends to be drawn to these harsh lines. It doesn't look very organic. I think it's distracting. That's just me. But it's amazing what a little bit of texture or text stamp will do to a page. I think that looks incredible. I love it. And because it's archival, it will be permanent. I don't have to worry that it is going to react with any glue that I may use to adhere additional elements. We have the background. Another thing I like to do, and we're going to do this one for the first time together. I haven't really played with these pages since I created them, so I haven't really tested how the acrylic plays with my archival ink. I'm hoping they play nice together, but we are about to find out because I want to create a dark border around this page. It's just something I enjoy doing. I am trying to find, let's see if I can find it. I like to use those little makeup brushes from the Dollar Tree, and I haven't bought any recently. I need to make a trip because I am running out of them. Oh, here. I have one left over. I tend to keep them in a jar off to the side. Okay, so here's one. Let's see what happens when... I had another one I was working with. It's lost. Who knows? Maybe one of my cats carried it off. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I like that. I used this same method on another page in my book. And that other page was... the background was created using the Diane Weavely Dylusions paints. And those paints are... I think it's by design. I know. It's by design. They are designed or created so that they can be reactivated with water, if I recall correctly. and they're not permanent, in other words. And when I tried doing this darker border on that page, instead of creating the darker border, what ended up happening was the paint mixed with what was already on the page, and I got an unintended result. Still fun, but definitely not what I had hoped for. So, learned something new. And definitely decided that if I had to choose between those paints and the acrylic sprays, I would choose the acrylic sprays. I love that those paints are reactive and you can still kind of manipulate them and play with them after you create your page, but it does get to a point where what's on your page is your final result, and you would like for it to be permanent, and you would like for it to stay that way. So definitely moving forward, I think I will continue to invest in the acrylic sprays and not so much anymore in the Dylusion paints, though I still honestly have plenty of those paints left over to play with for a good long while. So as you can see, hopefully you can see, I'm creating a border. Oops, sorry, smacked the camera. I did. I created a border, a darker border around this page, which hopefully draws your eye to the center of the page. Just gonna darken this up a tad bit more. I love that. Definitely a much better result on the acrylic sprays and more what I had in mind. Super happy with that. And I might even go in again later on with maybe one of my Posca pens, a black one, and darken that even more. But that's a good start. So I have that. Let me find my image. Here's my image. I do want to ground this. I can do it one of two ways. I can use you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to use some streamers. Yeah, you heard me. Streamers. I have a roll of black a streamer. Party streamer. Isn't that what they call these things? And I love the texture. And how easy would it be, and also fun, to run a strip of this across the page and put this on top of it just to ground the image. So let's get a general length. It's a good way to use some of these party streamers, right? I think I got mine at the Dollar Tree way back when. It's been in my stash for a while. How excited am I about Halloween? So excited there. I already pulled out my Halloween bin, which is where I pulled all of this from. Now, I could very well leave this just like that, but I don't like that hard, straight line going across like that. I want it to be perfectly imperfect. So I am going to just tear away at the top half. Now, what I have learned from using these streamers is that wet glue tends to show up very clearly and obviously when you use wet glue to adhere this. So I have learned through experience to use something a little less wet. So I am going to use my Scotch glue stick for this. Get a general idea of how high I want this glue line to go. And I'm just going to run this across my page. Nice, generous, thick layer of this glue. And I got this from Amazon. As with most of my shopping, Amazon. I love that glue stick. So I am going to take this, adhere it onto the page. I'm okay with the overhang. I'll trim that off. I will. At the end, when all is said and done, give that a good press. And I think that looks infinitely better, more better, than just having that harsh line across. Very rarely in nature do you come across harsh lines. Things tend to be more organic, more, yeah, I guess just organic is the word. So to me, that's what I find most attractive, most pleasing about nature when I go on hikes, when I'm just sitting in my backyard and staring out into the tree lines, whatever it may be. I love seeing those very organic lines in nature. I really do. And I try to translate that into my journal pages. So at the end of the day, I try to do what I find pleasing to the eye and what makes me happy. And these kind of rough organic edges, they make me happy. So that's what I'm going to do in my journals. You do whatever makes you happy. I'm going to trim off the excess here. There we go. And again, to me, the purpose of this is 1, texture, 2, interest, and 3, it's going to ground my image. I am not a fan of floaters, images that just float. It just doesn't make sense to me that things float. I need them to be grounded in some way, shape, or form. So that's my solution, and I think it looks good. So our little wicked witch has her little cauldron, her black cat. By the way, I have black cats of my own. I've always had black cats. The 2 I have right now are Mako and Chala. Chala is a sweetheart. Mako, he's a bit of a, cover your ears if you don't like curse words. He's a bit of an asshole. But I love him nonetheless. That's just his nature. So here are those quote chips that I peeled back. And we had what? Mischievous, a wondrous witch. She cast a wicked spell. And then we have, I think I can thin this out even more. Let me thin this out a little bit more, maybe. Let's see. No, that's about as thin as it's getting. Okay. So I'm thinking that's going to be the page. So let's start adhering this. So with journaling, when you get these prompts, keep in mind that it does not have to be a literal translation of the prompt. It is whatever it is for you. It can be a feeling. It can be a story. For me, these prompts tend to trigger more a story, a scene in my head. That's just the way I work. Everyone works differently. But I work so that when I hear these prompts, it triggers images, stories, scenes, and then my mind goes absolutely nuts trying to put these scenes to paper. So I was super excited about this one because the minute I heard it, I knew exactly where I wanted to run with it. And the timing is absolutely perfect because we are about to enter fall season. And fall is, quite honestly, my favorite time of the year. Can't stand the summer. Way too hot. Way too hot. Just going to put a little more pressure on this. Way too hot. Winter, way too cold. Spring, too many allergies. So, fall is my jam. Fall is absolutely my jam. So I am feeling fall enter my spirit. I'm just going to press on this a little bit. Look at that. Wonder if it's because it's acrylic. This glue is not wanting to bond. It's the first time I'm trying to glue anything onto one of these pages with the acrylic spray. So I am learning. Maybe I'm just being impatient. Let's put a little pressure on these. Just have to be patient, right? That's asking a lot of me. That's all I needed. Some patience. Let's cover this up. Plan B, if this doesn't stick, is to use my fabric tack. But I think we're good. Maybe. We might be good. Oh, look at that. She is being fussy, isn't she? So how many of you are following along with Rosa's prompts? This is her third one. I think the first one was coming up roses, right? I think that was June. And then, was it? Then July. Whew. All of a sudden I don't remember. But anyway, I've participated in all of her prompts up to this point. I definitely will continue to do so. What I love about her prompts is they are very unique. It's not a list. It's basically just a phrase, a sentiment. And I think the point of it is to provoke thought. Provoke thought. And it also allows for a lot of flexibility. It is what you want it to be. All right, that's stuck quite nicely. I will clean this block later because I am a nutter butter about having clean blocks and stamps. So I think that looks good so far. Let's see, what do we need? We need some of my fine liners to outline some of these. I just think it creates a very clean look. I recently purchased these. Who were they by? Star pigment liners. Something that popped up on my Amazon feed. And I love this because you get a nice selection. I normally use, these are my go-to. I absolutely love these. My Micron, forget the brand. Yeah, Micron. Love these archival ink fine liners, but these are kind of pricey, a little bit spendy, and I'm always looking for more affordable alternatives and decided I wanted to try this. It said that it's water-based, water-resistant, and it's pigment liner. So I'm going to take the 0.5 liner. It's my favorite type to work with. That's what the point looks like. And what I am going to do, hopefully this is dry enough, is just outline. Oh, it's perfect. The chipboard pieces that I put down. I think it adds a bit more definition to what's on your page. Yeah. I don't know. Again, this is my first time using these. I think it is anyway. I don't remember using it up to this point. I'm hoping they don't fade back or smudge. But we'll find out together. Okay. Our little moon here. Oh, I want to be careful with this moon because the last thing I want to do is get any of the liner. Oh, I love that. On the moon itself. What I love about using these chipboard or thicker pieces is you have a nice, almost like a guide that you can run your file liner against. Oh, I love that. I really do. Super simple page. I think the borders could be a little darker. I am going to find my Posca. I'm pretty sure I have a black Posca. Or I can use, I was just using it, I can use my Stabilo paper, glass, plastic, metal. Pencil. Oh yeah, perfect. And the best thing about this pencil is just that it will work on paper, metal, glass, or plastic. Oh yeah, I love that. So typically what I do, mark the page and then use my finger to just smudge it. See that? Now what you could do, if you want more of a smudge, is use some water. See that? Water will really get this moving. Look at that. You could use a baby wipe too. It's interesting the way it's reacting with the acrylic. Look at that. It's almost like, I guess I should stop fussing with it so much, because I can see that what I'm doing, there, we'll just kind of use more like a stippling instead of a rubbing. With a rubbing movement, I'm almost rubbing it off the acrylic. With a stippling movement, it's definitely staying more put. Very technical explanation right there, right? So I think this page is done. So this is my interpretation of Smoke and Mirrors. Let's go ahead and get my fountain pen and sign this one. Where shall I sign her? I don't want to sign up there because it's wet. I think I will sign along here. I'm going to use my Echo Twisby fountain pen. And I loaded this with some carbon ink, permanent. I think it's I forget the details, but basically is resistant to water. It's resistant to alcohol. It's perfect to use with like alcohol markers and anything water. So I am going to sign this baby. Let's sign it right here. Maybe if I turn the pen right. There we go. And today's date, I don't know. Let's see, Friday was my anniversary. That was the 28th. So today's Saturday, that would be the 29th. So 8/29. There we go. 8/29/20. And I will write here Smoke and Mirrors, so I know what the prompt was when I look back at this. So that is my page, my friends. This is my interpretation of Rosa's prompt for the month of August. Smoke and Mirrors. Mischievous, a wondrous witch, she casts a wicked spell, dreadfully wicked. I love this. Absolutely adore this. So let me know what you think, and if you are following along with Rosa, definitely drop a link to your video down below. I would love to see it. I think what Rosa is also doing is she's creating a playlist of all of the people who hashtag her prompt. So if you are participating, make sure you do that, because I go back and I watch those playlists. But if you are participating and you've already done your project, let me know what you did. Let me know what you think about my project. Let me know what you think about these acrylic sprays, if you've used them. Any tips or tricks, techniques you want to share with me are always welcome. And let me know, what is your favorite time of the year? I know for a lot of people it's Halloween, and for even more it's Christmas. For me, it's all about the fall. So that would be Halloween and Thanksgiving. Christmas is nice, but definitely my favorite would have to be the fall, Halloween and Thanksgiving. And you will be seeing more of those projects. And for those of you who have been following along on the progress with my latest junk journal, I hoped to be posting another progress video to let you know how I'm doing on that, and also share with you some of the work that some of the embellishments and fun stuff that I've been creating for the journal. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I truly do appreciate it. If you are new to my channel and you are not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you. Also, if you are subscribed, activate that notification bell so that you will be notified anytime I post a new video. And if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. Again, any comments, questions, down below is the place to leave them. Or if you're more comfortable reaching out to me one-on-one, my email is happilyellaafter@gmail.com, and it is spelled the exact same way as my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I truly do appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next video. Until next time, bye bye.